Well, at the outset, thanks for the invite. I really feel privileged to be part of this. It's a huge thing for me to have this and to be associated with the NMM. I'm Henk Crouse. My background is I'm a lawyer. I was in private practice for approximately 10 years. After private practice, I was asked to start legal departments and start a new bank in South Africa, which was HSBC Bank. Eventually, I ended up in the corporate world, and I've retired a couple of years ago, and now I basically do mentoring and a little bit involved with various aspects, but I enjoy my retirement. I never thought my 60s would be the best decade of my life, but it certainly is.
I definitely love to hear that. So would you...
Something for you to look forward to.
Well, let's see if I live that long, and we will see about that. So yours didn't begin at 40, began at 60.
Yeah. Well, I must be honest with you. I think every decade to me was better. You know, if you're young, you're so uncertain. You're not comfortable in your own skin. The older you get, the less you care about other people. You become your own person. You grow into your own name, actually.
No, I get you. I understand. Well, thank you for joining us today. Just gonna go through a couple of questions. Nothing much to it, you know, just to get a sense of your mentorship journey and how it's been like. So what motivated you to join the National Mentorship Program?
Actually, it was a very easy decision for me. You know, most definitely at the outset, it was the reputation of the NMM. They've got an impeccable reputation that I could easily identify with, and I was proud to be part of that. And also, you know, they've got this whole idea of sharing success, which is so self-explanatory. You know, you can so easily relate to it. Being a mentor or being a mentee, we're spreading success. It makes perfect sense. And another thing, you know, I've did some research, and they've helped a staggering number of people, actually. And the vision of the NMM to basically connect 100,000 mentors with 1 million mentees is something that I want to be part of. It just makes sense to me. And a very important aspect of, you know, sitting within the circle of the NMM is that you learn from the others. You know, there's such a huge resource of knowledge and specialization with the other mentors that you cross-pollinate and you use that information in your own mentorship. So yes, it was a very easy decision for me.
Oh, great. And thank you for joining the movement. And how has mentorship supported your personal, professional, or entrepreneurial journey?
Well, it certainly had a profound effect on my career and on my life, because it goes wider than your career, I think. Being as a mentor or as a mentee on both, because I've been on both sides. How can I say, it's you know, it's easier to walk the path with somebody next to you than to do this journey all by yourself. You've got someone right next to you who basically can challenge your perspective, who asks you questions and gives you insight into your own problems that very often when you get the questions, you can resolve yourself. It taught me when to speak and when to listen, which is a very good skill to have in your career. I think it's rather important. But I think the most important thing is, you know, to believe in yourself, because as a mentee, you know, you look up to your mentor, and if your mentor believes in you, it's so much easier for you to believe in yourself as well. It just makes it easier.
Yeah, no, I think I do believe that it makes sense much better that way. And I do agree with you. Having to know the scale, when to listen and when to say something, it really goes a long way. And not just on a professional scale, but also on a personal scale, I would like to think.
Absolutely. You think when you start becoming a mentor, you think you must talk the whole time because if there's a silence, it's uncomfortable. But it's sometimes
Yeah,
the silence that brings out the real problem. If the mentee thinks he must say something and then he says what the actual problem is, which he was hesitant to say, yes, you're spot on.
yeah, no, I hear you. Can you share a specific lesson or piece of advice from your mentee that changed your perspective?
There are so many. I think the biggest one that I've taken always with me is your reputation. You know
Mm,
that you've got one name and you must look after it. It's your reputation is your biggest asset that you have. Me being a lawyer, for instance, let me give you a practical example. Let's say, for instance, they ask me to do a contract and I run out of time and I deliver a poor contract and I give it to the client because I didn't think of my reputation and I didn't do my planning and time scheduling because that was not important to me. So I deliver a poor product. So now the client gets his contract and it's a bad contract and it's going to take years for me to recover my reputation because of one bad decision I've made. So whenever you do something, you must always think of your reputation. And something from a very practical point somebody actually once gave me, and I certainly always followed it, was that when you go into a meeting, it's the best opportunity you have to basically display, what your skills are, because you've got an audience. So if you're not well prepared and you go into that meeting and you just sit there, then you've got an audience of people that you disappoint. So if you
mm.
don't prepare for a meeting, that was his motto. If you haven't prepared for a meeting, don't go to the meeting. I thought that was brilliant advice.
Yeah, no, I'll remember that next time myself. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point and I'm always prepared for my meetings. Tell me, what challenges has mentorship helped you overcome?
I think the I think the most common problem for all young people, definitely it was in my case, was not believing in yourself. That
Mm,
uncertainty, not being comfortable in your skin, and you sit in a meeting and you think the people around you know everything, and you're the one that doesn't know anything. Um,
mm,
I believe I believe your mind is just like a computer. So if I've got a computer and I tell my computer, don't print black and white photos. And I ask the computer, print black and white photos. It won't print black and white photos because I've programmed it that way. Exactly the same
mm,
with your brain. So if I tell my brain I can't do it, I won't be able to do it. It's just logical. When I was in my early 30s, I had a springboard athlete who was one of my mentors. And he told me a wonderful story. He said, that if you don't believe in yourself, you can't do it. And what he told me was that in the 50s, nobody could run the mile under 4 minutes. And there was research done, and the doctors and all the intellectual and smart people come to the conclusion that the human lungs are not big enough to do a sub 4 minute mile. It's not possible for human beings to do that. And then
mm,
in 1954, a guy by the name of Roger Bannister, he ran the mile with no expectations and he broke the 4 minute record. And all of a sudden, everybody saw, oh, it's possible. And within months, four other people broke the 4 minute record because now all the athletes say, oh, it's possible. I'm going to try it. So yes, it's what you believe in yourself. It's the essence of
yeah,
success.
yeah, no, thank you for that. I completely agree. How has your relationship with your mentee influenced your confidence, growth, or opportunities?
Yeah, it's not so much, whether you've grown or whether it has given you confidence. It certainly is an aspect without the slightest doubt. I think the more effect it had on me was not so much obviously it gave me confidence when you're successful and you see somebody change. But to me, the great thing of it, that had an impact on me is, you know, you give somebody advice and you don't change people. They change themselves, but you're invited to be part of that metamorphosis that happened, to be part of that change, and you see it. And that's an extreme privilege, you know, and it's extremely fulfilling to be part of that and the whole process, and you see how somebody grows. That to me was quite important. There was a case, you know, where so I say I was challenged, and yes, it made me growth. I had and I don't want to ramble on. I know I must keep my answers probably short, but let me just. I mean, you don't have to
No,
use
go
that.
ahead.
I previously had a mentee who was an artist, and we wanted to increase sales of his art. And also to him, you know, I say, you know, you must improve the product. You must improve the product. You know, you must sell more. And I said, and he had one painting in the gallery that he actually didn't want to sell, and it was wildlife, and everybody wanted to buy that painting of the wildlife. So I said to him, you know, you must go into wildlife. You know, you must do the big five, or you know, you must do the sea, the ocean with the seagull and stuff like that. And he said to me, Henk, I fully agree with you. It will sell more. But I'm not going to sacrifice my belief of what a true artist I am to do that commercial stuff. It's not me. And I realize there's a very fine line, you know, about raising your profile or your reputation and stick to your values. You know, to what degree do you basically sacrifice to be more successful? And it's for each individual to decide that themselves. But it was a lesson that I learned, you know, that we all are different, and I must look through his glasses, how he sees his work and what he sees his reputation, not the way I want his reputation to be. Can you hear me? I think you're frozen.
I think his network.
I'm happy to wait. I don't know, but perhaps he should reconnect.
Oh no, I'm back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you, yes.
I have no idea what happened. Sorry about that. Must have been my connection.
There's no problem at all.
I didn't, but I heard you very well on that, and
Okay.
I have to say
Good.
it is a slippery slope between those two things in terms of what can you sacrifice and whether or not you should, you know, stay true to your values and not
Yes.
sacrifice anything.
Well, we all come from
It's
different backgrounds and different cultures, and we have different values and different religions. So, yeah, but it was something, you know, when I was younger, I thought, you know, everybody has got the same view, you know, and I didn't realize, but it was a very good lesson. And that certainly made me change the way I was thinking about values and norms and
yeah.
stuff like that.
No, I understand. And what does mentoring through NMM mean to you personally?
Well, at the outset, I think it gives you a huge platform, you know, to reach a huge audience, which is very important if you would like, you know, to basically make a change or to influence people's lives. It also, the NMM gives you fantastic training, which is very important. I think, you know, you all sit around a table. It's and all the mentors are there, and then we all discuss our problems with amongst each other. So it's not only my view you follow. So
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is, with the NMM, you're not walking alone. You know, you're a pack, and everybody helps each other. You follow. It's not only
Yeah.
the whole synergy thing is, you know, one and one makes five. You follow, because the problem that I may not be able, and I can give a little bit of 10% input, and somebody else can give 50%. You follow? It's the combined collective wisdom that I can bring to the party because of the NMM. And I think something very important as well, and is that there's accountability, because the NMM, they don't only look at the mentor, they look at the mentee as well. They look at both. So I give my advice, they follow up, they have structured meetings to ask how far we are. So everything is very disciplined, you follow. And I like that because it keeps you on track, and it's a good sample that they have according to what we work along. It works perfectly well.
Yeah, I completely get you. Thanks for that, Henk. And in what ways do you see yourself paying it forward in the future?
Yeah, paying forward can be, to me, paying forward it's not a grand gesture to me. It's more a responsibility that you have. You follow. It's like somebody invested in me, and that investment can stop with me, or that investment can carry on. So it is very important to me. Playing forward is, you must actually have a structure, you must have a plan, you must have a schedule to basically do this. There must be a disciplined commitment to do it, because I get a benefit now and I think I'm going to play it forward, but 5 months later, I'm in a different space at a different time, and you don't think about that anymore, because at the time when it happened, it was in your mind. So if you don't immediately take action, if something happens and you think, this I want to play forward, you must immediately take action. You must put it in your calendar. You must write it. You must verbalize it. You asked me about playing forward. Yes, I would like to play forward, not for the bragging rights. It's for me more for the fulfillment, of what I get from it, to make me a change in somebody's life. It's wholesome. Yes. After I've retired, that was my main aim. To try to get back.
No, thank you. Wonderful responses, Henk. And once more, I would like to say thank you for firstly taking your time, being with us today, and also taking your time being part of VNA and being part of NMM, as we celebrate 10 years as an organization. We really appreciate such mentors as yourself. What special message would you say to NMM as a child turning 10 years, for an example?
What special message would I like to say to the NMM?
Yeah, as NMM turns 10 years this year.
Okay, I'm with you. I think I would like to tell them, that they have made so much progress over the years, and that nobody has got this concept of spreading success and the vision of combining so many mentors with so many mentees. It is an aspiration that I honestly think is fantastic. I feel privileged, and I hope to be part of that. I wish to congratulate them on having staggering amount of people's lives they've changed, and I wish them all the best, and I hope I can always walk along with them. Congratulations for the 10 years.
Much appreciated, and please don't retire from us. Please stay with us.
I certainly won't. As long as you would like to have me, I'm walking with you guys. Thanks for the interview. It was very nice chatting to you, and all the best. Have a good weekend, guys.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.